class will be a refresher on point slope form. So these last 2 days, we have been sharpening our skills with graphing and writing the equation of a line in what form? What have we been doing the last 2 days? Slope-intercept form. Now pay close attention to the name slope-intercept form. What 2 words are in that name that are important? Slope and intercept. And is that what the equation is made of? A slope and an intercept? Yes. So let's make a nice connection to this name, point slope form. So just from the name, what do we know this is going to have? We'll have a point and a slope. Did we say y-intercept? No. Big difference. It can be any point on the line. We're going to discover that in a moment. Before we start, though, 1 and 2 is kind of a blast from the past, right? I have a slope and an intercept. So the directions say write a linear function in slope-intercept form. If I have a slope and I have an intercept, right away, I'm good. What am I going to write for number 1? f of x equals 8x minus 5. Nice job. How about for number 2? And we're done. Is there any difference between y and f of x? No, but what as awesome Algebra 2 students will we use most? Okay. So this required no work. This required no work, which is nice. What's different about number 3? Is there any mention of a b value here, an intercept of any kind? No. So this is where we're going to pull out this tool from our toolbox called point slope form. So way at the top, I'm going to write it in the corner, and let me know if this starts sounding familiar, and if you can finish it, finish. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Okay. If it's no, that's okay, because I'm going to teach you right now. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So here, what do you know this is?
It's a m.
Which is?
Number 4, slope.
Slope. And then that point, right? Point slope. Here's my point. Point slope form. And we're going to practice using it right now. Right? With practice, we will get this, I promise. So what label can I put right here to help myself out? M. And then above the point, we're going to write x1, y1. x1, y1. x1, y1. Nope. Let's see what this is going to look like. See this unhighlighted y? It's always going to be there. Don't be trying to plug stuff in twice. That y is staying. So it's going to be y minus y1. What is y1? Careful. -1. What did I put it in? Parentheses. Parentheses. Y minus y1 became y minus a -1 equals what? 4 times x minus 6. Why did this not need parentheses? Very good. It's already a subtraction, and you're plugging in a positive number, which is why it's going to stay x minus 6. Now, ultimately, what is still our goal? What do the directions say that I want? In what form is my goal?
Slope-intercept form.
And slope-intercept form, say, what is slope-intercept form again? Y equals. So what are we going to solve for? Y. Can we solve this for y? Yes, we can. So hold on. What is this going to become? Minus minus turns into plus. So I have y plus 1 equals. What are we going to do with that 4? Starts with a D. Distribute. We're going to distribute. So that's going to become 4x minus 24. There's somebody I have not heard from yet. What can I do to finish this? There's one more step. There's some voices I have not heard yet. I want to hear your voice. Nope. Try again. Subtract 1. Remember, we're trying to solve for y, so that's what we want to get by itself. Y equals 4x minus 25. Very good. We're done. Do we now have slope-intercept form? We do. Now, watch. The whole goal of what we did was to solve for y. Each step that we performed was getting y more and more and more by itself. Go ahead and try 4 on your own. Try number 4. Try number 4. If you think you're done, check with a neighbor. Good question. This 6 was negative because my original formula is x minus x1. And I was plugging in a positive 6 right here. So that became x minus 6. Yes. Yes. The negative 24 minus 1 becomes a negative 25. This is like I owe you $24 and I borrow another $1. How much money do I owe you now? You, in a sense, are adding, but your result will be negative. So when you add in the negatives, you just get more and more negative. What are we getting for a final answer, folks? I got y equals negative x minus 3.
What?
So we basically save the y minus 2 for the last step, right? Or y minus anything for the last step.
So I don't see a negative times a negative. That was x plus 5. So it sounds like we're good right up till here. When I distribute this negative, what do I get? Negative x minus 5. And then my last step, add 2. So I get y equals negative x minus 3. And now I'm done. It's a little bit, but it's really just adding, subtracting, multiplying. I added 2. It was always y minus 2 because we plugged in a positive 2 here. Go ahead and set up 5 and see if you can, no. Go ahead and work on 5. Work on 5. I did. I added 2. I got negative 3. Let's go for number 5. Oh, watch the wall. It's okay. Let's work on number 5, folks. Louis, number 5. Go. Ayana. Mhm. Mhm. Because, hold on one sec. Y minus Y1 becomes Y minus a negative 3. Because that's what I'm plugging in for the Y value. So the key thought here is that, see these built-in negatives? See this? So Y minus whatever the Y value is. Well, the Y value itself is negative. So that's why it's Y minus a negative 3, which will become Y plus 3. Same thing over here, X minus X1. Built-in negatives. Who got the same answer as me?
I'm
Getting there? We'll give classmates a chance to catch up. People who wrapped up number 5, I want you to think about number 7. We're going to move around a little bit. What we don't do in class will be homework. Don't use a calculator for that. You do that math. What's different about number 7?
It doesn't have a slope.
We just have points, and it doesn't have a slope like he just said. But what can we do with 2 points? And calculate what? Yeah, can we calculate the slope? Yes. So if I'm just starting with 2 points on the line, Gene, we need to actually calculate the slope first. So I would recommend, if you sometimes have trouble with the order, stack the points one on top of the other. If you don't need to do that, don't. But if it helps, do it. What will change in Y divided by change in X look like for this? What are we going to do? 7 minus 9 up top. If 7 minus 9 is up top, what's in the denominator? Okay. 7 minus 9? Negative 1 minus 1? Answer? 1. What is that a value for again? Which is represented by what variable? M. Yes, so this is the slope represented by M. What's the name of this formula we're talking about today again? What's it called? Point slope form. So I have the slope. I don't have points? How many points do I have? No. 2. I have 2 points. I need to pick one. Which one do you guys want to use? If you have a positive choice, I'd go with that. But if you want to challenge yourself and choose that one, go ahead. We should get the same answer. Now, I need to see something like this, a box, an arrow, something to tell me which point you're using. If you want to write the word choosing, 1, 9, something, or put in a box. This tells me, oh, look, this is their M value, and this is what they're using for their point. Who wants to set this up? What is this going to look like? Yep, now we have a point slope. We're going to use point slope form. What's that going to look like? CJ, you want to give it a shot? Do it with me. Ready? Let's write the original formula. Y minus Y1 equals M times X minus X1. So if you're not super confident yet with the formula, there's nothing wrong with writing that down first. I highly recommend it. This will, comfort with this formula will come through using it and writing it down a bunch of times. So go ahead, CJ, try this out. Y CJ, what's the setup? What is my y value from the point? 9, good. Y minus 9 equals 1. Keep going, CJ. X. Very good. From here, can you solve for y? Go for it.
Do we have to put 1x and which x?
Your choice. The question was, can you just write x or do you have to write 1x? That's your choice. What are we getting as the final answer?
Hold on. Y equals x plus 10? Okay.
Y plus 8.
You can't put 1x.
You could, if you want to. 1x is fine. Okay. Look at the next question. Not 8. Work on 9 on your own. Start to finish, number 9. What are you forced to do first? Like, there's only one thing you can do with 2 points. What is it? What's the only thing you can do with 2 points? Calculate slope. Calculate the slope.
Y change.
Change in y, change in x. Yep. Yes, x always goes in the bottom. So remember, we're moving around the packet because what we don't do is homework. I go back and forth. I should still get -4. Sure, as long as you're getting -4. Oh, we're moving on. What point do you guys want to use? 5, 2? 5, 2? Put it in a box. Will I get the same answer if I use 7, -6? Yes. So if you want to use that point, go ahead. Yes. No. You just have another negative to pay attention to. It's not necessarily harder. Who have I not heard from? Give me the setup. I've not heard from. So let's do it together. The key to understanding it is to get the formula fixed in your head. So until you know it backwards, forwards, upwards, sideways, I want you to write it down. Y minus 1 equals m times. So for as long as you're like, oh, I don't just start, write that down first, and now we have a guide. So now I use that guide and help me out. It's going to be y. Nope. Go ahead, I'm listening. What's the y value of the point we're using? The y value. I'm listening. 2. So y minus 2 equals, what slope did we just calculate? -4. And now inside parentheses, x, and then we're going to subtract, what's the x value? So knowing this did all the work for us. We're just substituting in. From here, we use our algebra skills. How am I going to solve this? What do I do first? What do I do first? Anybody? What's that word that starts with a D? Distribute. So I have -4x. What comes next?
Subtract,
Yeah, careful. Negative times negative is a positive.
Or
And then subtract 2.
Subtract 2? Add 2. So watch the little things like that, because you could get all of this work on paper and then by accident you subtract 2. So careful. My final answer, y equals negative 4x plus 22. Yes, so my recommendation, write this down every time. That's how we know what to write, is that's what we're working off of, is that model, okay? 10 will be for homework. Let's look at 11. This is the Algebra 2 side of point slope form. So what we had just done, that was the Algebra 1 refresher. Using point slope knowledge to solve this is Algebra 2. So quietly read the scenario yourself. Read. Thank you. Read. Everyone. Thank you. What's this whole question about? Yeah, how long the age expectancy of men in the future. Question A asks, write the slope-intercept form of the equation of the line shown in this figure. How are we going to do that? We must have the knowledge. What's given to us on that line? 2 points. Can we go use those points? Yes. Let's define variables first. What does x represent here? And what does y represent? The labels on the graph can help us out. So number of years, good. Number of years after 1960 is x. And y is life expectancy. So I see me writing, but some of us not writing. This is for you. Take notes with me. And how is life expectancy measured? Like, what's the unit of measure? Years. So we're looking to model this line. What information am I given on this line that I can use? Points. Here's one. Here's another one. Use the points. What are we going to do with those points? Yes. So 20 comma what is my first point? 20 comma 70. And what's my other point? 40 comma 74.3. How do we calculate that slope? What's the change in y divided by change in x going to look like? 70 minus 74.3 divided by 20 minus 40. I need a decimal rate of change, please. I need a decimal rate of change. So use your calculators. Negative 4.3 at top in the numerator divided by, good, divide. I need a decimal unit rate. Jeffrey?
In number 9, use the bottom y number. 0.215.
Yes, so let me address that. Remember, you have 2 choices for order. You can do y1 minus y2, and if you do that, in the bottom you have to do x1 minus x2. If you choose to start with the y2 value up top, well, you have to start with in the bottom. Same order, yep, x2. Good question. Who's got negative 4.3 divided by negative 20? Dad?
0.215.
Do you guys agree with that? 0.215. What is this a value for? If I had asked you for real world labels, what would you say? years. And it's kind of weird because like years per year, but it's more like years old, right? So let's actually add that label. You're increasing your age by 0.215 years old per year. We don't want to lose track of that ability to put labels. So I've got M. What else do I need? I have coordinates. We got to make a choice. What do we have to choose? You want to choose 20, 70? How do I show a teacher that I'm choosing 20, 70? Put it in a box. Put it in a box. Try to make it smaller. Do what you can for space. All right, so what formula are we now going to use? I'm listening. Yep, y minus. What's the general formula? Y minus y. Good, and what's that called again? Point slope form. So for those of us who want to use it as a guide, which I highly recommend, y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1 is the guide. Now let's plug in. We have clearly indicated to the teacher what point we're using, and now we're going to use it. What is that going to look like? Y minus 70 equals 0.215 times x minus 20. Can we solve for y? Solve for y. What did you guys get when you distributed 0.215? Minus 4.3? And then to finish this, what do we add to both sides?
70.
Plus 70 plus 70. So the final model is y equals 0.215x plus what? 65.7. Who got that? Roughly half. Some are still working. So if you don't have your calculators here, folks, you really need to get them. That way you can actively do the math with us. The follow-up question says, use the equation, this one we just found, to predict life expectancy of an American man born in 2020. How are we going to figure that out? Well, we have this model. We want to be able to use this. Nope, don't have to. Just somehow we can use this to do it. We said use our equation, right? This is my equation. What did X represent again? Years after 1960. How do you figure out how many years after how many years after 1960 is 2020? What can you do? So let's do it. 2020 minus 1960 is how many years? So we are going to calculate f of 60. Because my output is the expected age. So my answer will be the expected age. This is purely calculator work right now. Just plug it in and let me know what you get. I'm looking for 0.215 times 60 plus 65.7. I have one person with 78.6. Do you guys agree? What's the label on that? So a man born in what year? In 2020 is expected to live 78.6 years. Because that's the stats. That's what the math says. So your assignment for the weekend is to actually wrap up the ones we did not do in the workshop. You can go back to those couple on the front page. There's one more real world on the back you could try right now, but we are working until the bell. I'd recommend digging into the real world on the back, just while it's fresh in your head. But that's up to you, right? I'll be around to answer any questions. Nice job today. The video will be online by this afternoon.